Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. It's Tuesday morning today. I'm not working away from home today, so I thought I'd catch up on one set of the items I've been buying recently, despite my vigilance this year about trying not to buy too many makeup products that just sit around then unused. I did fall for the latest Suqqu release, which is a large release of single eyeshadows, monos, which I've never seen from them before. When I started buying Suqqus, they did trios, or certainly my first few palettes were trios. I've certainly seen duos, but mostly they've been quads that I've bought. I do love Suqqu eyeshadows. The texture is different from other eyeshadows that I buy from luxury brands. Often lighter, but not in the sense that they're not pigmented. They're just kind of designed, I think, to be used slightly more subtly. And the other thing I find about them is they often combine together without going muddy, so you can actually layer some of the different finishes and they look really good. It's a really nice range, I think, if first of all you're pale skinned. I don't think the pigment works. Well, I imagine the pigment would not work well with darker skin tones. And secondly, if you like quite a subtle look, although they do some unusual colours and textures sometimes that, you can do a slightly more out there, fashion forward look. Anyway, enough droning on. I have to say, do quite like single shadows. Increasingly, I just don't want to be bothered with anything too complicated if I use eyeshadow at all on a day-to-day basis. My eyes now are very hooded. I'm quite elderly, so I do have to be careful, and it's hard work to do an eyeshadow look that isn't botched, looking with several shades. So I was up for this release. 4 different textures: matte, satin, luster, and prism. And I don't know, but it seems to me there's about 30 or 40 of the different shades. I spent ages looking at videos of swatches because I ordered online, looking mostly at Asian, because you get far more Asian videos, Japanese company, Asian influencers buying and illustrating. And so I couldn't always even understand what was being said, but it was quite good for looking at the swatches, because online it was quite confusing. So I kind of recommend you do that, annoying and time-consuming as it is, if you're going to buy sight unseen. I mean, ideally you would go into a store and swatch and try them yourself, because when they're actually swatched, the texture really does change what the colour looks like in the pan sometimes. But they're not the easiest brand to view in store, as it were. If you're in London, Selfridges, I think Liberty, and certainly Harrods have them. Anyway, I didn't buy any matte shades. Surprise, surprise, despite generally being said matte is better for older eyes. I bought one satin colour, which is this one, Satin 01. I think this might have been the first one I bought. Selfridges were pretty much instantaneously sold out, so I couldn't get every one that I wanted from the first release, and I had to wait until Harrods got them a couple of weeks later. So you can see this one looks like a kind of peachy colour with a slightly metallic sheen. This is satin, reminding you. Now, let's see how they look swatched. You can see there, doesn't look that different from my skin colour, but I think you can see on the lighter colour of my wrist, it's a real pretty peach. Quite summery, I think. Looks nice with blue eyes. Works well on the lid. I have worn this already. It's, I wouldn't say glittery, and there's certainly no fallout, but there's definitely almost metallic with the satin. Then luster, I ended up with 3. Let's see, what have I got? That's 02, 01. Let's look at 01 first. They're slightly magnetic. So that almost, when this came through, having bought the other one, I thought, oh no, they look almost the same. You can see side by side, this luster one is a much more kind of yellowy gold than the satin. This one feels a bit more gritty. If I put them side by side, you can see this is paler. It definitely looks more glittery. I think this is really to be used with something else or as a topper. I haven't used this as much as this one. Yeah. Number 2. Yeah. Okay, so this is very obviously a topper. I am a sucker for these kind of shimmery white highlights. I think I've got a couple of very similar ones from other brands, including Chanel, who came out with some singles last year. You can see this one definitely has a bit of potential fallout. And it's it is really pretty ethereal kind of shimmery topper colour. Not everyone's going to need that, to be honest. And then this one of the lusters is 03. Another. I do go for the same kind of colour, another kind of goldy colour. Let's put it there. Oh no, that's not showing as well. Let's have another go with that. I'm terrible at doing swatches. I'm so sorry. There you go. Now you can see that actually looks quite a lot darker on the lid. More of a quite subtle, I'd say mid-tone brown. So the look in the pan can be very deceptive. You can see they're all quite subtle. They're for paler skins. Now the prisms, I think in a way, are the most interesting because they're kind of multi-textural. This one is 02. There is a beautiful green. There is a beautiful lilac, both of which I was quite tempted by. But this was the one I really wanted. Now, it looks very pink in the pan, but I'd seen this demonstrated in various people's swatches. You can see it's a lot more interesting on the skin. The most densely pigmented and a lot more kind of bronzy brown with this pink, there you go, the pink shift shows in the light. This one actually looks quite dark. I have to go in with quite a light hand on the eyelid. But it does make for quite an interesting one and done. And I do think it's a beautiful finish. It's not showing as shifting on the screen as it is in real life. So those were the ones I got. Much against my better judgment, really. Do I need 5 more individual shadows? Because I think they're 24 or 26 each. So they're not cheap. But yeah, I do like. While we're on that kind of shifting pink, I did cave and buy another of the Chanel limited edition. This is Dazzling Artist. And I'll show that here because that also is one of these kind of pinky, peachy micro shimmers. So I've now got 5 out of the 6. Having said I was going to, hold back on wasting my money on yet more Chanel nail varnishes. What can I say? So let me know in the comments if any of you are Suqqu fans, if you're single shadow fans, or if you hate them, and what you're purchasing from the newish products that are dropping at the moment, or at all. I'm always interested to read your comments. And I shall speak to you all again soon, hopefully. Until next time, bye for now.